Welcome back, everybody, to Grand Tactician, the Civil War. I'm Grumpy Grandpa Gaming, and this is episode 38 of our Confederate Spring of 62 campaign in version 1.11 using the A.O.M Mod. First things first, hope everybody had a wonderful Mother's Day with their loved ones, and I hope you all had a good time with each other. So, you have a mother, living or dead, and hope you showed her some love. Alright, moving on from there, one thing I did notice is we're actually only a few weeks away from the 1-year anniversary of this channel. I didn't realize I was doing it this long so far. Just under 400 subscribers, so it'd be a nice little gift for the 1-year anniversary of this channel to get up to that 400 subscriber mark. So if you're one of my returning viewers who's not yet subscribed, please think about hitting that subscribe button. Does wonders for morale when we're going to sit down and do these videos. Moving on from there, we also do have a new viewer unit, and that is the Old Miss Heavy Artillery. He actually did request for this to go into Lovell's command because they had no artillery, and they are now in a siege at Fort Massachusetts, and it's not going well for them. Originally, I took the request, but I wasn't going to put the battery in the command, but now I'm looking to put the battery into that command to give them some extra firepower that is needed. So that one battery might tip the balance from the next time we come out and hit this. Because originally my plan for this command was to break it up after taking down Fort Massachusetts, but that's no longer the case. As I may actually have to strengthen this command now, as the Federals are moving the 44th Army down the coast, prepping for a naval invasion. So I don't know where they're going to land. More than likely, they're probably looking to take back Fortress Monroe, which is a strong possibility, or land further south. But I think they're heading for Fortress Monroe, is my guess. So I may have to move Lovell's command from the Gulf region, the Gulf Coast region, and put them onto the East Coast to deal with that army. And I'm definitely going to have to plus him up because he does not have the numbers to handle it. On top of that, we did fight. I'm not even going to call it the battle. We're going to call it the massacre of Charleston, West Virginia, because we took down, what was it, 4,600, 4,900 Federals for the loss of 2 cavalrymen, 1 dead, 1 wounded. So that wasn't a battle, that was a straight massacre. So right now we are flipping Charleston. Once we're done flipping Charleston, we're going to be moving the Army of Tennessee up into Grafton. And the Army of the James, which did fight against the Army of Tennessee, was actually up here in Cumberland. So I've actually issued orders for Jackson's Army of the Valley District to move back into Cumberland so that we can seize this depot and empty it out and possibly draw away some of the Army of the Potomac Corps that are sitting in this area, or draw down the Department of Virginia to fight with him out here. And it should be a fairly decent fight. I do believe he's now fairly heavily armed. Almost the entire Army of Northern Virginia is, it's actually, everybody is armed with a rifle. And I think, yeah, it's only his corps that's not armed with the Williams yet. Nope. Okay, so we have 3 batteries that are not armed with Williams guns in the Army of Northern Virginia. Otherwise, all the support batteries for the divisions are armed with Williams guns, and everybody in his corps is rifle armed, either with the Enfields or Mississippis. So any fight they take part in should be a pretty bloody affair. And on top of that, up here in Maine, we did seize Fort Popham. And 1st Corps Army North is now building a supply depot here to support operations against Fort Scammell. 2nd Corps is still down the road, but they only arrived here a few days ago. So hopefully their readiness comes up quickly, but I don't think they're going to be a viable force for us to use or move until around July. So we're probably going to have a whole month to wait for this Corps to get ready to go again. But if we can distract their forces in the south from moving north to take care of Maine, we should be fine. And on top of that, it was a pretty busy episode last episode's pretty busy. A lot of movement going on. We did end up giving up the siege of Fort Thompson, as you had all these federal corps stacked up in the air. You're looking at almost 4-to-1 odds, maybe 5-to-1 odds against the Corps of the West under the Army of the Transmiss. So they're now retreating away down to this location, and I've ordered the Army of Mississippi to consolidate over here. So we got 2 corps heading over here to, can't pull up the town name, but over here to Fort Hyman. And 1 corps coming down here to Jackson. And then we will consolidate them here at the border within supporting distance of each other, and then I'll probably push into this cluster. Also on top of that, we do have Forest Corps all the way out here in Kansas, and they are still building their supply depot. That'll be ready in 9 more days. So as soon as that depot is built, I'll be moving them in to begin the siege of Fort Larned. And hopefully we'll take that down fairly quickly. Even though they don't have a siege perk, the last fort I sent them against fell fairly quickly. So I'm hoping that repeats itself. And I'll probably send them up here. Take down Fort Kearney. Yeah, Fort Kearney. I think I always say Kearney, and it's Fort Kearney. So that will be his next stop after taking down Fort Larned. And from there, we'll probably track him east and just raid our way across the northern sphere of Union territory out towards Chicago. That's the idea for right now. So I'm trying to get the Union to react to us as much as we are reacting to it right now, because they do have us by 100,000 men, so they do have more forces in the field, more spread out than we are. I think some of our corps are larger, some are smaller, but for the most part they actually have more maneuver elements in the field than I do. And also the Gulf. We are almost finished with the Gulf. I believe there's only 1 fleet left, and it is over here down in the Keys. So I do have First Fleet on its way down towards Fort Zachary Taylor. Unlike the last Confederate campaign where I wanted to take down these 2 forts, I'm just going to leave them be, as they're really not doing anything. So I'm not even going to attempt to take them down. I know I'll be able to take Fort Zachary Taylor after a pretty lengthy siege, because that is a 3-star fort. But Fort Jefferson I'd have to take down with a fleet, and that's a 50-50 chance, and I don't want to risk my ironclads on something like that. So we will not be attempting that. So we're going to try and chase out this last fleet here. Then we can officially say the Gulf is a Confederate lake. And then I will be moving that fleet up the coast. Next stop, Charleston. Take down the fleet that is blockading there, because I don't think they have anything south of it. And they might, because Fernandina is blockaded, and they should not be able to reach Fernandina. It might just be in their ages. Not sure. And we also have the Lincoln's Gift Squadron, which now has 21 ships in it. It is still on its way north to station off of the Long Island and Nantucket Sounds to support the operations going on up here. So we do have a lot going on. I know it's kind of a little all over the place, but there is just a lot going on. I think it's one of my longest intros I've ever done. So I think that should cover everything for right now. So I will be back with the next event. Alright, that did not take long at all. We are still on June 2nd. It's 1900 hours. And Jackson's Army of the Valley District has went into the District of Washington and the Middle Department, which looks like they were transiting. Probably hoping to use this rail line to get into Western Virginia. So we have met up with them at Harpers Ferry, it appears. And there's more troops on the move behind them. So First Corps Army Potomac's on the move also. So obviously we're going to take this fight, and this shouldn't take long. I'm going to do this one off camera, because they have less than 5,000 infantry, less than 2,000 cavalry, and 5 pieces of artillery. So we should make very short work of this force once we close in with it. So we got 21,000 infantry, 1,100 cavalry, and 116 guns in this command. So I will take this off camera and I will be back with the post-battle newspaper. Alright, glorious victory at Harper's Ferry. We did achieve a major victory in this one, but at a bloodier cost than I normally would. So I did take this battle off screen, and I kind of wish I hadn't, because the AI actually did a damn good job on this one. They were positioned in such a way that I had zero opportunity to flank them out. The only way I could do any type of flanking fire was send my artillery across the river behind them, which would have taken hours. And they were positioned in such a way as I could only get one division to fight them at a time. So my casualties are... And they were entrenched. The AI actually did a damn good job on this one. I wish I had been able to show it to you all. Yeah, we took a lot of casualties, including one division officer wounded. General Andrew Johnson. So, not too big of a deal because I think Hood is now back in my officer pool from coming back from being wounded, so he'll probably get that command. But the enemy reported suffered total casualties of 1,555 men. There were 254 killed and 299 captured. Our casualties totaled 979 men, with 131 killed and 234 missing. Captured 647 rifles and one gun from the battlefield and sent 281 soldiers down to our prison camps. So this is the closest... I think this battle's been the closest casualty-wise that we've had so far, because I had to dig them out of those entrenchments, and they must have had some seriously high morale because they did not want to budge. Generally, once you can get one of those, when you assault entrenchments, if you get one of those end brigades to break, you could start rolling up the flanks, and it just did not happen this time because I can only get the one division front going on for it. It is what it is. Oh god, that was a bloody fight, and a lot longer than I expected it to be. Alright. So now we know they have forces heading into West Virginia. I'm going to continue marching Jackson towards Cumberland. I'm going to send Magruder's right wing over here to Harper's Ferry to work as a blocking force. I doubt they'll be there before 1st Corps gets into the area, but you never know. But we are going to continue on the Cumberland as I want those supplies. And now he's going to take the way he should have gone originally down the road. Okay. The only reason they met up is because he marched forward to this Harper's Ferry to take the rail line there. Now he's going to take the road over there, that should have been the way he'd gone to begin with. But then again, we probably would have met over here at South Branch Bridge if we'd done that. But Magruder should be plenty strong enough to take this on his own if 1st Corps shows up. Yeah, he's got 27,000 men and 109 guns. He is more than capable of taking on whatever comes his way. Alright. So, continuing on from there, I will be back with the next incident. Alright, we actually haven't even moved the game a few hours. So, June 3rd, which is the day that Battle of Harper's Ferry was fought on. And I don't know how the game is going to calculate this one out, as Harper's Ferry started on June 2nd at 1900, ended at 2000, and then started again the next day. And we went to about 10:30, 11 o'clock in the morning. Now we have another battle happening at 0600 on June 3rd. So it would have coincided, these forces would have been on the field at the same time. So I don't know how the AI would compute this one. So even though it's 0600 on the map, maybe it'll be a little later in the day once we get onto the tactical map. I'm not sure. But right now we have 1st Corps Army of the Potomac and 1st Corps Army of the James. So just as a reminder, and this was something that confused me, the AI actually has 2 Army of the James for the Federals. I just happened to forget about it because we haven't seen the second one in a while. So we just fought one. They have 1 Army of the James in West Virginia right now. and one army to James up here. But once again, we're fighting two separate corps under two separate commanders because there's not a unified army command on the field, either Army of the Potomac or Army of the James. So they're under overall command of Rufus King, and they're bringing 41,314 infantry, 2,500 cavalry, and 64 guns to my 20,566 infantry. Remember, we did have 21,000 something, but Battle Harpers Ferry is a little bloodier than I expected it to be. 1,086 cavalry and 115 guns. So, even though I do have a numerical advantage, once again, it's two separate corps, which are going to be doing two separate things from each other. So I'm not that worried about it. Thing is, I just lost sight of them. There was another corps over here on the rail line also. Not this corps. There was another one that was right behind it. So they are rushing forces into West Virginia right now. So obviously we're going to take this fight, and I will be back after the load screen. Welcome to the second battle of Harper's Ferry. We are on the Sharpsburg map, which I did just fight in the last battle. So as I was describing, I was not able to really flank out the Confederate positions because they were actually dug in back here. So they were ringed in right here. The defense point was over here. Don't know how they ended up with that as a defense point. That's what they got. It was this farm track here was the defense point. So I could only get one division in line at a time to assault the entrenchments, which are basically dug in river to river. It was just a tough nut to crack, just to explain the casualty numbers. All right, so they're defending Prize Ford. And that's good defensive terrain. You have the infantry up here with the artillery up on this ridge line. So I'm going to get my troops on the road, get the cavalry up in that direction, see what we got going on here. And I'll come back with a plan of attack once I have an idea of what we are looking at. Right, it's about 8:50 in the morning, day one of the battle, and we do have an idea of where the Federals are sitting. We can't see them all. They do have almost 30,000 men on the field right now, so this is just a drop in the bucket that we can see. You only have a very limited set of entrenchments right here along the sunken road, which was actually unnecessary because I know in the game the sunken road does count as a breastwork of sorts. As you can see, yeah, see these guys actually have full green cover because the sunken road in this game, I don't know how they worked it out, but that does cover as breastworks. So that was basically actually, I think that counts as entrenchments, not breastworks. So that was a little bit unnecessary what they did right there. So my plan for white now is I'm going to send my artillery division plus Hood's division out this way, right on the south side of the Boonesboro Road, to start firing onto their positions, with Hood's division covering them. And I'm going to send Claiborne and who's the other division commander? And Field out this way. And hopefully attack from the direction of D.R. Miller Farm and Dunker Church and sweep in from this direction. This is only one corps. The other corps is not here yet. They're still a few hours away, but I'm not going to be able to kick this attack yet. They're arriving in 5 hours. And they are coming in from here and here. So I'm not going to be able to get this attack kicked off before they arrive. Because there was a window of opportunity to defeat this corps before the other one came onto the field, but that is quickly closing on us, so it's just not going to happen. By the time these divisions are in position, that window will be passed. And if you're wondering why I'm sending them down this way, is the original pathfinding actually had them coming through Sharpsburg and down along this road, which would have left these divisions in clear view of the Federal positions. So we're not doing that. I got to change the name of Johnson's division. Hood's in command now, but it's still called Johnson's division. We're going to send you right about there. Once again, the artillery division is lagging well behind, but we will deal with that. So I'm not going to kick this attack off before the artillery is in position. So I want to have my guns firing before any type of attack launches. So while these boys move into position, I won't hold you here. I will be back. Alright, it's 1440 on day 1, and I'm almost in my attack positions. I'm not going to be moving much further for at least an hour, so I won't be kicking off. I won't be moving into my final attack positions until about 1600, which isn't going to leave me much time in the day because both of these divisions are now heavily disrupted from all the marching they've been doing. Because you have to remember, they started down here, came out along this way, back around this way, and then up into these positions here and here. So both divisions are pretty heavily disrupted. The AI really hasn't reacted to them yet. Though, once again, I still can't see all their brigades, but I don't think they've moved them yet. So I don't know if the AI see... They should see these brigades out here in the open field. There's no reason they shouldn't. But, so it's going to be about an hour and a half before I kick off the final assault. My batteries are moving into position. So I've been moving them up one battery at a time as I've had breastworks built for them, as I actually don't have an engineer brigade in this corps as of yet. So one of my line brigades has been building it. And I did realize that if the reinforcing corps comes in along this road here where the Leslie house is, they would actually be a flank and rear of me. So I've sent Cummings Cavalry, choose Horse Artillery, Edwards Brigade from Hood's Division, and a skirmisher detachment from that brigade to cover these crossing points right here, though I should have something over here. I'll probably send Kelly's brigade over to watch this crossing point right there, north of the lower bridge. So it's going to be, if they decide to come in from this direction, I might have issues, because they are 0 hour, so they're going to start entering the field at any time now, so they're going to be arriving before I even start my attack. As I said, I had a very limited window for these things, and that window has now closed. And I'm also showing the fact that some of these brigades are broken even before the battle even started, and they didn't start the battle broken, so I do have some morale issues in the army right now. But we'll deal with those. It's just a matter of digging them out of these entrenchments. I can push Fields Division on a prize forward directly. Then I still have to worry about that reinforcing corps showing up over here also. So I'm in a bit of an odd position as I just don't have enough troops to cover all possibilities, but we will make this work. And they are starting to arrive. Where are they coming in? Dog Creek? Okay, they are arriving at Dog Creek. That's better for me. Not for my attack, though, because I'll put them flank and rear of field during the attack, which is not a good thing. I'm getting very limited on what I can do. I don't even think he's going to be in a good firing position. I was hoping to have his guns firing down the road over here, but I don't know how good of a position that's going to be. We'll see once he's up. These guys even in your range? Not really. He's not in a good spot either. We'll start shifting him once the attack begins. So, just letting you all know what's going on. I will be back. Alrighty, it's 1647 and we're moving into our assault positions. I do have Claiborne's division on flank and rear of the Federals. And they never reacted to these movements, even though they're within plain sight. I have the Williams guns setting up in the rear of the entrenchment, so they'll be able to fire on their entire length of their line. And with Fields Division, I'm leaving his battery and McCausland's brigade at the Pry House, or the Pry Ford, to cover this position, as the other corps is arriving on the field back here somewhere. And if they're going to come, they're going to be beelining for this spot. So this battering brigade should hold long enough for me to break this corps. Though you can still cross here at this bridge. It should not be an issue for me to cover it. Speaking of which, I can actually just move Connor's brigade up there right now to cover that location. Say you're not part of the attack. And I know some brigades out here we don't see, so I might be able to take care of those also. You guys want to sit right out of my range, so I'll just push up into you. So I think my artillery's had a nice morale effect on these forces so far. We haven't done a lot of damage to them with the artillery, but they have had a morale effect. They've been under artillery fire for hours. So it looks like I'll be able to do this with the division and a half I have assigned to the attack. There goes that brigade. Now we just gotta sweep our way down the line. Artillery firing from the front, these guys coming down on their flank and rear. Still be an issue digging them out of the entrenchments. My casualties will be high, but hopefully the amount of artillery I have firing all this time has the effect I wanted it to. You guys are in range, really? Oh, just barely, but they can get some shots in. That's nice. Got no dust trails, but if you listen carefully, you can hear them marching. Yep, there's a dust trail right there. It'll be a while before they arrive. So even after I clear this corps off, we will still have to deal with that one, but that'll be easier as we'll be defending the river crossings at that point. Marching these guys in a little close, but I think it will be necessary. I don't need to give these guys advance orders. I think they should be far enough away to not engage directly. Moving these boys forward, probably like kicking the hornet's nest. You know what, I should bring this, even though I need them watching this forward, I should bring them in for the attack on this flank. I would say this is a very Jackson-esque attack with how I came in on their flank. Oh, it's already 1700. We are losing daylight fast, so we need to pull this off quick. Really do not want this going to a day 2, but it just might. How are you guys? You should have just marched straight forward. What the hell are you guys doing? Things are getting a little choppy, so they must have a lot of orders going out. You know what? I don't need you watching that fort, so come up in here and hit that brigade. And they didn't even turn this brigade to meet the threat. Love to know what the Suffolks are doing. Come on. Alright, now they're turning to meet the threat. Those guys to get up here. Stonewall Brigade's morale is not good, so I really don't want to bring them up for an attack. I have no idea what the Suffolks are doing, but get the hell in there, boys. This brigade's already breaking. We do have them reared out right now. So these guys up here are going to take some casualties until we sweep down the line over here. Siding on those reinforcements. Not yet. You guys done with those breastworks? Almost. There goes that brigade. Georgia Elite, good job. Keep firing and get those rifles hot. They got turned because they were in hand-to-hand for a second there. Why are you guys not at long range? Anyways, that'll help push the skirmishers in. I got no problem with that. They should have been at long range at the start. We've moved it in the direction of a minor victory. Just got to dig this brigade out now and then move down the line. That other corps should really be double timing to help, but it doesn't look like it's doing that. Not too bad on the casualties going face to face with entrenchments. Connor's going to take some heavy hits because he got in so close. If anybody's wondering what today's battle brew is, it is the Japanese whiskey Nika. I'm really getting a taste for this stuff. Down here, some more hand-to-hand. Practice of retreating through. Yep. A little bit closer, keep them under fire. Yeah, Connor's gonna break on me. I don't know why that division is not at long range. Up. Scots Brigade, call on your skirmishers. back up this way. Stonewall Brigade, come on up and hit that brigade. Their morale's not as low as I was hoping it would be. Once these brigades started breaking, it should have started a chain effect, but it did not. There goes that brigade. Suffolk's advance. Keep up the pressure. We should have enough time to break this core, but I don't know. Seems like it's going to be close if we break this, yep, Owen Connor's brigade. We saw that coming. It's going to be a long while before this brigade comes up. Call up Cummings' cavalry, but he takes his orders from Jackson. He's all the way back here. Firing. No, let's pick it back on. Fire at will. It's difficult. Their batteries are now broken. I don't think he has anything to shoot at, really. Suffolk still actually haven't taken any casualties. I'm really surprised by that. And Georgia elites have only taken 64. Ooh, Burke's down by 600 men, focusing by 400. I knew these two brigades were going to take some heavy damage until we can clean out this side of the entrenchments. Trying to advance out against me? Not a good idea. Starting that brigade in front of Stonewall. Yep, and I forgot about the Williams guns. Come over this way. Fire down the line. Yep, here they come. There's the first guys sighted. cavalry brigade. And there's... oh, that's one of their broken batteries. Okay. There goes Burke. Saw that one coming. That's my fault. We knew what was going to happen. And Jackson, Stonewall Brigade's already broken. I should have never brought them forward. There's another brigade. They're on their way. It's going to be a while yet, though. Advance orders. Let's have you advance to there. I'm worried about McCausland because his morale is so low. But this battery shouldn't be able to hold the fort for the time being. These guys should be showing reared out, but they're not. Because they're turned to face Fulkerson's brigade right now. Sorry, Fulkerson, you're taking some heavy hits, but it's for the greater good as you are distracting all these brigades. Except for this one. Cavalry made it across without breaking. I'm a little surprised by that. It's about to be a little rough. It's a little rougher than I thought it would be. Come on, Pettigrew, get in position. Get the double time. Alright, everybody's firing. Very good. Alright, there goes that brigade. Very good. Oh, crap. They're coming in from that direction. Running out of daylight, so we should be good until they fully come up on the field. Gotta wait for these guys to pass through before I can reshift Pettigrew. There we go. Alright, close in. Get those Enfields to work. 13th Suffolks. Broken, turn on that brigade. And right as Fulkerson broke. That's fine because these two, there we go. This corps is finished. Now we just got to worry about the reinforcements and hopefully they withdraw instead of attack. I don't know if I'll be able to hold. This division is exhausted. You got one division, basically two divisions broken. And you have us outranged, really? They should be taking fire from all these batteries. Elite. Let's bring you around. Cause and move up there next to the artillery. Alright, let's go If we go to a day 2, these broken brigades might all reform, then I'm going to be in a tough spot. We shouldn't go to a day 2. They should be withdrawing at this point. So look at the power meter. Claiborne, let's get your division up here. Nope, they are turning around. They are withdrawing. Very good. Just in case. Let's bring your division up. I'm not going to bother moving the artillery division because it'll just be a mess. I can do that with a day 2 reset if we go that far. Alright, let's speed this along. This is over. They're leaving. There they go. Whew. Yeah, that was a little, that's a little hotter than I expected it to be. Took a lot longer than I expected it to. But we got the job done. But we still have an unfought corps in front of us, so they should be retreating off. Alright. So, we were attacking entrenchments, so we were going to take higher casualties. But still, losing 2,100 of our infantry does hurt. So we lost 2,130 of our 20,560 infantry. We lost 16 of our 1,085 cavalry. We lost 2 of our guns. I don't know from which battery. Total loss of 2,167 of our 23,314 men. We took down 4,200 of... Okay, it's only showing the one corps' numbers, it looks like. Unless not all the troops from the other corps got onto the field. I'm not sure. So we took down 4,200 or 38,000 infantry they had on the field, 45 of their 2,300 cavalry, 30 of their 60 guns. So yeah, they are counting the second corps. I guess it was a lower strength than we thought originally. Total loss of about 4,400 or 42,000 men. Let's take a look at the paperwork. Alright, the cavalry didn't fight. The Virginia Barrett didn't get any shots in Johnson's division, which is actually Hood's division. I gotta change the name of that division. Connor's brigade did 236 to infantry. Scott's brigade did nothing because they never got into the fight. Stonewall brigade did 88 to infantry before they broke, but they had very low morale at the start of the battle. And Jackson's artillery, which was actually the battery that was firing the longest throughout the whole battle, did 183 to infantry, 84 to artillery for a total of 271. Division total of 595. Fields division, Burke's brigade did 641 to infantry, took 7 prisoners, 20 to artillery, took another 15 prisoners, total of 683. Fulkerson's brigade did 577 to infantry, plus up to 579 to caught some command staff. Causland's brigade did 29 to cavalry, because they were watching that ford. And the Washington Artillery Battalion did 8 to infantry, 18 to cavalry for a total of 26, because once again, I had them back at that fort, and they only had a few shots in at the main combat line. Claiborne's division, Pettigrew's brigade did 535 to infantry, captured 38 for a total of 574. The Georgia Elite Regulars did 704 to infantry, took 17 prisoner for a total of 726. 13th Suffolk's did 792 to infantry, took 9 prisoners, 1 to artillery for a total of 810. And the Georgia Special Battery, I thought they would have higher numbers than this. Really disappointed with these Williams guns. Because I had them in a flank rear, but then again, they were firing into entrenchments, so they really didn't have the opportunity to cause a lot of casualties, especially with those 1-pound rounds. So they did 50 to infantry, plus up to 52, so I guess they caught some command staff. Division total 2,162. And Lawton's division, which is actually Fields' division, another division I have to change the name of. Oh, no. This is the artillery division, my bad. 1st Georgia Heavy Artillery did 124 to infantry, 6 to artillery for a total of 139. Hawkins Battery did 40 to infantry, 4 to artillery for a total of 45. Westcott's Battalion did 95 to infantry, 41 to artillery for a total of 138. Wachita County battery did 65 to infantry, 33 to artillery, a total of 74, and Zachary's battery did 10 to infantry, and that was it. I think Zachary is the one that has the that 14-pound gun. Yeah, they got those old 14-pounders. So I don't have enough 10 pounds yet for everybody. Let's get closed out of here. All right. So, attacking entrenchments, you do expect to take higher casualties. You should actually be taking higher casualties than the defenders, but once again, we disproved that notion, at least with this game. So, I don't think that attack could have gone much better, to be honest with you. Considering I only had really a division and a half of troops attacking that core, I think that went a lot better than it really should have. The Fields Division got handled, but that's because of the position I put them in. And there was really no way of getting around that. But Claiborne's division did a lot of the heavy lifting when it came to the casualty output. And they didn't take too many casualties in return either. Especially the Suffolks. They got away pretty light on the casualties. But let me know what you all thought about that one in the comments, please. So, I really don't think I could have done much different on that one. Especially being able to get a flank and rear without the AI reacting to it. Alright, victory at 2nd Harpers Ferry. The Emirates reported suffered total casualties of 4,371 men. There were 752 killed, 863 captured. Our casualties totaled 2,167 men, with 311 killed and 231 missing. We've captured 1,729 rifles and 15 guns from the battlefield and sent 874 soldiers off to our prison camps. Colonel Morley, I hope that's not one of mine. I'm going to have to take a look. And I forgot to check to see if we got any of their officers. So it doesn't show anybody was killed, but we might have wounded quite a few of them. I forgot to check that. It's not something I started doing regularly until recently, and I still forget to check sometimes. Alright, I do believe I'm going to keep this episode rolling a little longer because I did short you guys on the Friday episodes. I didn't have the time to put one out. So, I'll be back with the next incident. So I just had to bring you guys in to see this. So, the Federals are emptying out Washington, D.C. and rushing everything in the direction of Harpers Ferry right now. So I have decided to pull Jackson instead of continuing his march on to Cumberland because his readiness is now down the yellow. I have just pulled him back into Winchester. But I still do have the right wing under Magruder heading for Harpers Ferry to hopefully block whatever forces are moving through this area. So he might be able to hold for 1 or 2 battles before I have to pull him out also. So I'm going to start moving the left wing up in his direction towards Leesburg. They're not going to be in supporting distance because of the mountains, but I will be able to shift him in if necessary. So it's getting a little heated in the Virginia theater, which we haven't seen since the beginning of the campaign. I just had to show you all that one. We're just about to flip Charleston, though. The Army of the James did not go very far, so we're going to have to re-engage this force and push them away before we move the Army of Tennessee again. So, I'll be back. Alright, we've only advanced the game 1 day in the June 4th. And now Magruder's right wing is in contact with the 1st Corps Army of Northern Virginia and 4th Corps Army of the Potomac. Once again, none of the Army commands are anywhere nearby, so this force is under the command of Erasmus Keyes. And he's bringing 36,838 infantry, 2,300 cavalry, and 30 guns to the fight to my 23,202 infantry, 2,259 cavalry, and 109 guns. So, I'm going to take this fight this episode, because if I don't, this is a hornet's nest right now of activity. If I don't take this fight this episode, we're going to have quite a few episodes where the game does not even advance a full week. So I'll be back after the load screen. Welcome to the Battle of Harpers Ferry Bridge. Once again, we are on the Antietam battlefield, as this is the area for it. And the Federals now have 2 defense points. You got Nicodemus Hill and the North Woods. North Woods is worth 10, Nicodemus Hill is worth 5. So I'm unsure as to how I would like to tackle this. I would really like to come in from a direction that allows my artillery to play a very key role in this fight, which possibly means coming in from this direction. But I'm unsure as to how their defenses are set up. I'm all the way back here. So I'm going to be sending Alcorn's cavalry out and around this way. I'm hoping to cross my forces here at the upper bridge. As you can see, I do have my... get them closer to where I want them to kick off from. So I would really, really like to cross the upper bridge, though it may not be a possibility depending on how the Federals are set up, as I would like to come in from around the Middle Cough House, around Squirrel Church region, because I could set my artillery up here to fire into these positions down this way, but we still have to get a sighting on them. So probably around midday before I have any idea of what's going on, so it'll definitely be a day 2 attack. Even though it's only 0700, it's we got longer distances over worse terrain to cover to get into position. So I'll be back once I have an idea of what we are looking at here. So Erasmus Keyes knows what the hell he is doing. I don't know why Magruder's following around my cavalry brigade, but as soon as they noticed Alcorn's cavalry brigade back this way, they started shifting all these troops. They are actually entrenched. There we go, right there. So it looks like their flank ends at the M. Miller house. So right now I'm just trying to get Alcorn the hell out of there. Magruder's right there, so I'll get the orders pretty quickly. So attacking from North Bridge is probably not going to be an option, but as they've emptied out right here, I may be able to come across at the ford here. It would be better to cross at the bridge. But they are not taking kindly to my presence with just this cavalry brigade here. Now, let's put you boys at a gallop and get the hell out of there. So now I don't know what their dispositions are really going to look like, because I'm not used to them reacting to my cavalry in this fashion. Magruder, go to hell with them. We lose you, we're going to lose this fight. You know what? I'm going to continue moving this way. If I can force my way across the upper bridge, I'd be happier from attacking up here. Even though they've emptied this out, this is just one corps that I'm figuring is on the move. Who's this? First Division, First Corps. First Division, First Corps. And there's a 4th Corps on the field from the Army of the Potomac. Maybe I should cross at this ford. Let me just get my infantry moving in that direction. I'll be back. Alright, it's 9:30 in the morning, and that division that was reacting to Alcorn's cavalry is moving away now. I do have scouts out, so we do still have them sighted. So I've decided to actually continue the attack from this direction. So my divisions are moving up into position now to cross that upper bridge. We should hopefully be across and in position up here before the Federals can react, if these guys are marching back to the original defense points. That's my hope, at least. May or may not happen that way. So, really looking for a terrain I can use my artillery advantage with, but not looking very hopeful. Best I can do is get them set up along this fence line, I think, if I can get back there. Because that'll put me in the rear of their positions. But that's what I'm hoping to do right now. Can we pull it off? We'll see. I'll be back. So it's 1300. Obviously, we're not going to get an attack off today, but I did start ordering Toombs and McClaw's divisions across the river. They're going to be lining up along this fence line here, and as soon as the infantry started crossing the bridge, this division started pulling back in this direction, which is actually leaving me a little hope open. I can throw another division, my 3rd division, across here and sweep in on their flank without having to take them from the front. So you seem to have given up these flank positions. Now, I still don't know where the other corps is. I haven't spotted any of their troops. These are some guys I did not have spotted earlier, so they are shifting to meet us. I'm just unsure as to what the AI is trying to do itself. So I did send Alcorn over this way to extend my flank, but I should bring them back this way to see if we can't spot what's going on at Nicodemus Hill. So we'll do that. So I was going to dismount them and put them into loose order formation to support the infantry, but if they emptied out these positions here, I can push Whiting's division up into Nicodemus Hill and the Poffenberger farm. They're turning their entire army to face this direction. That would be a windfall for us. So, I'm going to keep this moving, and I'll come back in either if the Federals decide to launch an attack at us, or if I can see if they've emptied this out, and I can start sending Whiting's division across to seize it. Alright, it's going on 1800 in game, so we're losing daylight quickly here. The 4th Corps is still over here at the North Woods and Nicodemus Hill, so I've ordered Whiting's division to extend my ride out in this direction. We are not launching an attack today. That is just not going to happen. We're losing daylight in an hour and a half. So all these dispositions are going to be changed in the morning. If the Federals are still sitting there, all the better. I could start slamming Whiting's division in on their flank. But that may or may not be the case. Sometimes they move, sometimes they don't. And they are reacting. How they're pulling back even further? Yeah, I think they're reacting to my artillery coming up. And he's pulling back, which is even better. Nope. Yeah, we're losing daylight here in a few minutes, so we'll just let this roll through, and we'll see what they look like for the morning start. Here we go, end of day. I didn't get the deployment zone I was hoping for there. What I can do is McClaw's division can push up here, and if they didn't move, we should have a good flanking fire on their position. I mean, if these guys are still sitting right there, a bit gamey, but I will definitely take it. I don't know if these Williams are going to have a good fire arc. Sometimes the arcs change depending on the time of day. Put you in these woods right here. Now, Corn, let's bring in your scouts. Dismount you and put you in loose order and put you right there. Teams move you up. Ooh, those Williams guns may not be in a good spot. Whiting. Put you in range to engage this one corner brigade and maybe sweep the line. Even though these woods are here, this Williams gun seems to have a very good field of fire. And Scurry, we'll just drop you right there. I'm wondering if this is that entire corps. It looks like it might be. What is their strength? Oh, they have 21,000. Fourth is 18,000. So this might be the entirety of... No, it can't be the entirety of First Corps. But we will still see if they're there. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hello. Hell. Damn. That's not good. Whoa. Yeah, let's put you boys back in the wood line. That's an ugly spot. Let's place you guys individually now then. No, that's fine. Yeah, the rest of you guys should be good. Yeah, that, if I didn't catch that, that would have been ugly. It looks like I might be able to push my cavalry into the entrenchments. And they got a corps commander sitting right there. Alright, let's hit play and see what happens. And they were all right there. And they have guys in the entrenchments. Pull back, pull back, pull back, pull back. Get the hell out of there. And these guys left. Works for me. Bring your division up. Your division up. Artillery over this way. Excuse me. So, I could attack right now with McClaws, but it'd be a bad idea without having Tombs and Whiting in division. In position in division. So, I'm not going to make any moves right now. We'll just let the artillery have their fun. So, unless they start advancing against me, I'll be back once I'm ready to kick off this attack. So, it's 6:52 in the morning of day 2. And I'm not sure what the AI is kind of up to push one corps over this way, facing the wrong direction. This corps is kind of sitting here, circling it out. Once again, it's 2 separate corps under 2 separate commanders, so they're not going to work in conjunction with each other, but it looks like they left me with an opening to take Nicodemus Hill unmolested. So Whiting's division is in position to do that. I was waiting for Discovery's artillery division to come up, but only 2 batteries are up right now, as they're all heavily fragmented. Because their original starting positions are back here. They came through the woods and some other terrain, so they are all heavily fragmented and taking their sweet-ass time coming up. Though, my Williams gun batteries have been having some fun. They're leveling up pretty nicely. Why are you idle again? So, like I said, I was going to wait for the artillery division to be fully in place before I move Whiting's division. Though this is too good of an opportunity to pass up. Actually, let me double check here. Make sure both corps are over here. This is 1st Division, 1st Corps, and who's over here? 2nd Division, 4th Corps. So both, you got 1 corps circling it out here and 1 corps facing the entirely wrong direction over here. So I thought they were coming out for a flank attack. I thought they were going to try and push around my flank and attack me, and then they just stopped there for no reason. So if they decide to attack me, I'd be in a pretty bad spot. But they are not. So Whiting, Let's move you around. No, I don't want you following that route. And we can order brigades individually. That's what we'll do. Nope. Gotta give you a route. Everybody out on the road. That's your brigade also. Yep. It's going to be a little tight on that maneuver, I think, but it should pay dividends. It should force these corps to start shifting position again for me. So I don't want to attack them while they're all massed up the way they are. And they've sent out skirmishers. Should send the cavalry to deal with them. They only have mixed weapons, so they would not get the better of that exchange. Alright, so while Whiting is moving into position, I won't hold you here. I will be back. Alright, it's 8:10 in the morning of day 2, and we have seized Nicodemus Hill. So I'm getting Whiting's division into a small defensive formation, as I expect this to kick over a Hornet's nest, but it may not either. So once his forces are in position, I'm going to move you up now. I'm going to start pushing him on North Woods if they do not counterattack to retake the position. And if they do counterattack, I do have Toombs division in place to start pushing in against North Woods also. And I'll be able to use McLaw's division. McLaw's division under 4 now, but McLaw's division to push in against 1st Corps. So right now I'm just letting the artillery have its fun. They are the king of the battlefield for a reason. So hopefully that is going to have some morale effect on them, though we are still showing a minor defeat pretty heavily in the Federals' favor, as I do have a lot of points from yeah, they got 41 points from objectives, so the Federals are going to be a tough nut to crack. Their morale is pretty damn high right now. It looks like they might be pushing forces out to retake Nicodemus Hill. No idea what these guys are shooting. Problem with these Williams guns is they run low on ammunition real damn fast. They've been firing for 2 hours and they are basically out of ammo. So I'm going to hold you here. Looks like I'm going to be kicking off an attack here probably about 9 a.m. If these guys don't push in for an attack, I will start one once Whiting is fully in position. Alright, it's 9:07 in the morning, and I have ordered forward a general advance along all fronts. So Whiting's division, now minus his artillery as they got counter-batteried out, is now advancing towards North Woods. Toombs' division is advancing in this direction. These 2 brigades heading for this brigade heading for the cavalry over here. So as soon as they stop moving, I will give them advance orders to get them into the woods, as their troops are sitting behind the woods. So for the most part, I have given advance orders to get my men into the cover the AI took away from itself. So I'm hoping to break this infantry brigade and this cavalry brigade to sweep up the flank of this unit here and cut these units off that are over here at North Woods. Will that happen? Don't know. I ordered everybody at the same time. I should have waited till Whiting was a little more advanced than he is now. That brigade's pulling back. So you're in range at the cavalry in the flank. Go after them. Jones, keep on after that infantry brigade. there's infantry in there, but we'll have them flanked out here in a minute. So Griffith is in position. Saw off those skirmishers pretty quickly. Let's get you out of the wood and into the open. Move on that cavalry. Move on the cavalry. And cut this brigade off. Against 3rd Brigade. Push out skirmishers, take care of that artillery. The skirmishers have them tied down. We can send in McCullough's brigade from their flank. Their morale is very high from holding those victory locations. This is going to be a rough one. This corps is not reacting. Like I said, once again, it's 2 separate corps, 2 separate commanders doing their own damn thing, and that works in our favor. How do you guys have cover? Artillery. Colquitt's brigade is going to get handled if you do not. Yep, and this corps is just going to sit there. Just what I was counting on. Even though you get some cover from that orchard there, but I guess not. It's still coming out of the woods. Rid of this battery so we can push through. Just don't fire an arc. Take care of them. They have their flanks turned to this brigade for some reason. We'll take that. I'm not worried about them flank attacking it. Broke 1 brigade, very good. Still going to be bloody for us, but I think we can pull it off. These 2 brigades getting ready to break. Lift this artillery battery on its lonesome. The casualties are stacking up on it. Detachment's still there, but the brigade broke. Hopefully they reform for me. There goes that battery. Very good. Advance you up. Turn to face these boys. Jones is getting ready to break. Your division commander. We'll rally them. Forward. Push forward. Push forward. Can't leave anybody unsupported from each other. Alright, we have seized North Woods. Push on that brigade. Push on that brigade. Don't let that retreating artillery distract you, please. We need you on this flank. Pull this brigade off the line as soon as I can. Okay, broke all the brigades over there. Very good. Advance down there. Trying to face that direction. Guys still aren't out of the woods. Still showing us a minor defeat, but it is going to start moving in our direction. Start advancing on their flank. Keep taking care of this brigade. They're going to keep falling back as long as they are flanked out. This brigade's turning slightly to meet the threat, but it's a bad idea. This corps is basically just pulled back. Looks like basically the whole corps is down at this point. One more to go. Are they going to turn to face us? I mean, they are facing our direction now, at least. They were facing the other way before. Again, ready to break advance on them. Jones, sit tight for now. Griffith's still moving in position. Fine, now they got the skirmishers out in front of you. That brigade and the battery. Very good. We don't have to attack this corps. This battle is ours, but if we don't knock them out before these brigades reform, it's going to be even harder. My casualties are already pretty up there, I believe. Almost 2,000 casualties, they're 3,300. I really do not want to attack this corps. I feel like I have to. What I need to do is reconsolidate. Because we do need to keep up the pressure also. Alright, advance here. That'll help push those skirmishers in. Same with you. Let's just push these skirmishers in. Let's just get rid of them. Cola and Colquitt. We'll advance you out here onto this flank. Firing. Please tell me it's not the skirmishers. Pendleton, let's bring you up to here. Does battery reform? No, it did not. You're sending out a lot of skirmishers. Jones is stabilizing now, but we will hold you in a reserve position back here. And I have a feeling Buckner might get defamed. His brigade broke after 143 casualties. So I have a feeling Buckner's going to get defamed out of this one. Cavalry come out over here. And we're getting close enough to push this off again. These guys are still coming. Ah. Oh yeah, turn and face this way. Limerick Laws, sorry, Forno. I gotta change the name of that brigade. Hit you in the flank. I can wrap the cavalry around the rear in loose order formation. Push those skirmishers in, advance, push them in. Don't get in a gunfight with them. Okay, you can't stay back here with these guys. You gotta move up. Ripley's wounded now. What's the matter, baby? Let's out of the room. Give me a second here. Yeah, sorry about that. Pity just woke up and she just wanted out of the room, so I had to let her go. Nope, just change your facing. There we go. Alright, push on that brigade. Keep advancing, pushing those skirmishers. advance you into the entrenchments. They have left those wide open. You guys are working with advance orders. I just need you to push on that brigade. Advance. Push in. Push in. Okay, so it's going to be harder to break this core than it looks like it's going to be. Probably going to lose the cavalry brigade to breaking, but gotta fire at short range. And this brigade left itself open to flanking fire. On them. Because this core decided to do nothing, just let itself sit there. I was just able to rip it apart more easily than I should have been able to. This victory is ours now. The casualties are going to be high. Almost at 2,500 casualties, but that was inevitable, especially on an attack. Looks like they might be starting to withdraw. They don't have much left that's not broken. So this actually should be looking better for us than it really is. A little bit more of a victory whiskey here. I think I just poured a little too much into that glass because I wasn't looking. All those brigades are broken. There's only one unbroken brigade left. Let's go get it. Alright, everybody, go get your shots in. Speed this up a little bit. There we go. You just got to chase down this brigade, and that's all it's going to take. They have nothing left out here. Nothing that I can see, anyway. Doesn't look like anybody's reformed. You know, cavalry, you ain't got the range for that. Pull back. We'll stay on them. I swear, if they keep this one brigade out of my range to keep me from winning this fight, I am going to be so pissed. But all of my units are too exhausted to do any chasing. And we just lost sight of them. We need to break this brigade before they reform. Well, we just caught a big chunk of command staff right there. Come on, break them. There we go. Finally. Oof. There's nothing to chase down, so we'll just speed this along. Oof. I did not think I was going to pull this one off. If it wasn't for that second corps sitting there and doing nothing, I would have never pulled this attack off. If they had an army commander on the field to coordinate both of those corps, this would have had a much different outcome. So we lost 2,145 of our 23,168 infantry, 136 of our 2,200 cavalry. I lost 20 of my 109 guns. Total loss of 2,437 of my 27,044 men. We took down 3,900 of their 38,000 infantry, 400 or 2,500 cavalry. We got all 30 of their guns. So their losses are 4,500 of 41,000. Oof. Alright, let's take a look at the paperwork. Alcorn's brigade, which is the cavalry, did 131 to infantry, plus up to 139, because all that command staff was retreating with that one infantry brigade. Whiting's division, Colquitt's brigade did 280 infantry, 40 artillery for a total of 320. Whiting's brigade ended up breaking. McCullough's brigade did 238 to infantry, 50 to artillery for a total of 294. Madison artillery did 31 to infantry, 5 to cavalry, 10 to artillery for a total of 46. Division total 675. Even though this was the flanking division and the division that took both of the command points, it did basically the least amount of fighting. McLaw's division, McLaw's brigade, which is not under his command, did 136 to infantry, plus up to 139. Griffith's brigade did 471 to infantry, 129 to cavalry for a total of 601. Ripley's brigade did 652 to infantry, 11 to cavalry for a total of 670. And McLaw's artillery did 57 to infantry, 12 to cavalry for a total of 69. Toombs division, Jones brigade did 376 to infantry, plus up to 377. Toombs brigade did 521 to infantry, 152 to cavalry, 26 to artillery for a total of 713. Cobb's brigade did 247 to infantry, 27 to artillery, total of 274. And Pendleton's corps, Pendleton's artillery, did 82 to infantry, 28 to cavalry for a total of 111. Division total 1,475. Scurry's artillery division, Ships battalion, did 58 to infantry, 6 to cavalry for a total of 66. Warren's batteries did 59 to infantry, 21 to cavalry, 14 to artillery for a total of 97. Breathen's battery did 24 to infantry, 11 to cavalry for a total of 37. Hodges did 12 to infantry, 6 to cavalry, total of 18. And Harris did 70 to infantry, 27 to cavalry, 23 artillery for a total of 122. All right, let's see if we got any of their officers before I forget to check. So we wounded Brigadier General Veal, commander of 1st Corps. But let's take a look at it. We got wounded a division commander. Why was it not opening up 1st Division? Didn't get any of their commanders. And Colonel Heckman, one of their cavalry commanders. So 2 officers from 4th Corps. And that's it. So we got 1 corps commander, 1 division commander, and 1 brigade commander wounded. None of them killed. Alright, let's get closed out of here. Alright, definitely, I want to hear everybody's thoughts about that battle, because I did not think I was going to pull that one off. Especially if you stay through to this video to the end, because this we're going to call this the end of the video right after we get out of this battle screen here. So I know this one's going to be a bit longer than usual. So I've been trying to keep them around 40-minute mark, but can't always do that. Especially when we got so much action going on. I want to get as far along in the campaign as I can in as few episodes as possible. Sometimes it's just hard. But definitely I need to know what everybody thought about that one. Because once again, I know I constantly say this. And you saw it firsthand when you have two separate corps with two separate commanders and no army commander. They are not going to act in concert because the corps commanders do not play well with each other. Because there's no way I should have won that fight. No way. Alright, victory at Harpers Ferry Bridge. The Army has reportedly suffered total casualties of 4,523 men. There are 706 killed, 676 captured. Our casualties totaled 2,437 men, with 442 killed, 381 missing, and the rest are wounded. We captured 1,690 rifles and 12 guns from the battlefield, and sent 655 soldiers down to our prison camps. General Scurry is now a national hero, and General Butterfield loses face. So it doesn't show any of our men losing face. I thought that one brigade commander would. They'll go back in and check the corps after this. Got two messages up here. Oh. I don't need those. Just let me know Jackson's back at Winchester. Alright, like I said, we're going to end this episode here. I think we got quite a bit, even though we've only run 2 days in game, 3 days actually. We started at the end of June 2nd. We're now in the morning of June 4th. So we basically only gone, basically 2 days, even though it's 2nd to the 4th was the end of the 2nd when we started this. So, if you're a new viewer, returning viewer, you have not yet subscribed, please think about hitting that subscribe button. If you do, remember to hit that bell icon so where the next video comes out. If you like a brigade in one of my armies, please let me know in the comments below. Type of unit, status from, weapons, uniforms, officers, and I'll oblige on all counts if possible. And comments, as always, please do keep them coming. And I'll see you all at the next episode. Stay grumpy.